Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is February 11, 2025, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching Tesla continue to slide lower. But first, no major economic events scheduled for today. So looking at the markets going on with the Forex symbols, major pairs are really unchanged. Now looking at the indices though, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ have slight gains after last week's sell-off. Looking at commodities, oil and natural gas continue to climb. And as we shift over to NVIDIA, has a nice rally up to a very crucial level. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin back on its resistance-ish level and trading in that range. So let's take a look at markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now, a couple of things about the Euro USD now. It is consolidating at this 103-ish level. Okay, it did retrace. And we've had some decent moves up until this week. Okay, there's been this gap down and then the correctional move. And now we're back on the middle ground of where we were before. Well, all intents and purposes, this is 50% of that, roller coaster ride. So I do imagine that we'll be consolidating about this area. Now looking at the GBP USD, also doing a little bit the similar thing, but it's trending a little bit lower and a little bit weaker than the US dollar, than the euro is vis-a-vis the US dollar. Okay, so that's important to note. Now looking at the other majors, nothing really doing. I mean, the CAD has pretty much taken into effect. The Japanese yen also just bouncing just slightly here, okay? But it did continue to slide to 151. That's a major advancement for the Japanese yen as that got stronger versus the dollar. Now jumping into the commodities, okay? Looking at oil, a nice climb up to $73 from our $70 level that we were in before. Now, resistance obviously 73.60, so keep that in mind. We still have some way to go here, about 40 cents. And looking at natural gas, also gaining a nice little momentum to that 343, but not as strong. Okay, so that is really important to note. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, they gained yesterday. Okay, we're looking at the Dow Jones, just slight gains yesterday, 3,000-ish level. That's where we're at right now. And if we look at the NASDAQ, also it gained altogether, but not something out of the ordinary. And it's very stock specific. So, for example, if I look at Netflix, super strong on its record highs. Okay, just making new highs, just marginally every single day, right? We started following this last week after it gapped up and then continued to climb even higher. However, looking at Tesla, it's the opposite direction. Tesla is retracing to 350. That's a major retracement from its high of 487. Now, if we zoom out a little bit, we got to take note that we do have supportish level at 308. That's an important level for Tesla. So if it does get there, that's our next major supportish area. So keep that in mind. Now looking at the other stocks, not much doing. Okay, Facebook and Meta that hit all-time record highs. It's close enough to its record highs. People taking some money off the table. But if you look something like JP Morgan, it sold off a little bit more aggressively. So the bank stocks did get a little bit more of a hit than some of the other stocks. So keep that in mind as well. And lastly, let's take a look at NVIDIA as that's been climbing quite nicely to 131. Now it's reaching a very important level, 200-day moving average. So that's super important to note. Okay, you can't see it on that type of chart, but it is looking like it is getting a little bit stronger here. And that's that also 50%, right? 153 it's its high, 111 is its low. So somewhere between those two levels, okay, where we're at exactly is 50%. So this is really the barometer. If I would say this is the average of what the price of this stock should be, okay, it should be at 131. So if it's above it, it's stronger. If it's below it, it's weaker. But this is about the average that it's been trading for us. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, also gaining back to its resistance-ish level, not a big deal, but it's significant. Okay, we're off of our lows of 95. And if we do trend higher, okay, our next real resistance again is 100. And as this finds footing for itself, but it's not retracing to 60,000. It's not retracing to 40,000, okay, like it did in the past. It's retracing to 95K and holding itself there. That's an important note for Bitcoin. So it has some sort of strength there. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.